Hello everyone, I welcome you here again. So today we have Mr. Lokesh Malviya with us. So welcome sir.
Thank you for having me.
So we'll start with your academic journeys first sir. Please tell us.
Thank you. So, I'm actually a computer science engineer from KIT Bhubaneswar. Uh, did it in 2008 to 2012. Then after that, I joined the PGP program of IIM Shillong from 12 to 14. So after that, worked for a few years. The so research was at the back of my mind from my PGP days only, but I wanted to get some experience, some industry experience before going into research because I believe that some level of practitioner's experience may be helpful in the research journey, specifically in management. So I thought of uh, getting some work experience. Then in 2020, I applied to several colleges for their PhD programs. I applied to IIMs, Ahmedabad, Bangalore, and Calcutta, and got a call based on my SOPs and profile on from the three of them, and finally got admission offers from Ahmedabad and Bangalore. And since I mean, my first preference was organizational behavior, and Bangalore was offering me another area, so that's why I went ahead with Ahmedabad.
Okay.
So that's the journey till the PhD. So post PhD, I joined PhD with a few topics in my mind that okay, I'm going to do research in these particular topics. But when you go through the coursework, when you go through the research methods and the literature which has been covered in your area, your motivation towards a topic changes. Your what do you say, perspective maybe gets broadened, and then after completion of your 2 years of coursework, you get a fair bit of idea, where you are going to go. So that's has been, you know, how
Okay.
the journey has been till now.
Okay. Okay. So a lot of current time scholars have, little bit not very clear how to find a particular topic, how to do a literature review, and what could be
Mhm.
the good promising topic in which they should do their research. So do you want to share something, some light on it, how to approach those things?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, the first thing that you need to do is read a lot. I mean, just if you have something in mind, go to Google Scholar, go to EBSCO and other, research-related search engines, and whatever keywords you have in mind, search for literature around it. Read a lot, especially the seminal papers, so that you get to understand where you can position your topic, and if there are any gaps where you can make significant contribution. As people say, I mean, just because a gap is there, you need not, uh, convince yourself that this is the thing to do. Sometimes a gap is there in literature because people thought that addressing that gap is will not contribute anything to the literature much. It may not have any significant theoretical or managerial contribution. So when you are looking for gaps, so be mindful that it creates some significant research work. Now, if I talk specifically about literature review, so there are tons of paper out there. There was one which was published in MIS Quarterly also about how to do a good literature review. So just be very clear about the topic that is in your mind. I mean, if you are going to go ahead with the literature review, I mean, what are the dimensions? I mean, especially if you want to explore about a construct, what are dimensions of the construct you are looking at in your particular study. Now, once the review is done, let's say if I talk about ethical leadership, I'm just stating an example to illustrate my point. So you just focus on the antecedents of ethical leadership, what the exact construct of ethical leadership is, the outcomes, if there are any moderators or mediators that have been explored. You go through the existing literature, then you see if there is any gap, significant gap, which may have several implications, wherein you can contribute, and if it interests you, you can start working on that. So that is there. Then another thing is that as far as PhD is concerned, you should also see the feasibility. I mean,
Hmm.
because you have several time constraints also with respect to PhD. You have a definite time period in which you have to complete PhD. So you look at these things also, which can help you, finalize your decision while selecting any topic.
Okay, okay. So a lot of scholars, they maybe they want to know about which kind of methodology one should look for. So do you want to share something? Which kind of methodology is suitable for which kind of research questions or something like that?
Okay, so there is one, what can you say, a rule of thumb that I follow. I mean, it's this rule of thumb is also based on my reading of the literature on methodology, that if it's something novel and a lot of, you know, research has not been done on a particular topic, so it's better to go ahead with a qualitative approach, because you need to explore whatever the phenomena of interest is,
Hmm.
because the literature has not explored it enough. If there are no definite measures of that particular phenomena or particular construct, so go with a qualitative approach. You take interviews or do ethnography, etc. Then maybe you'll be able to understand that phenomena better. But for areas in which considerable research has been done, I mean, uh, it's not yet matured, but I mean, you have, with respect to your constructs of interest, you have certain scales, you have considerable literature on it. For instance, if I talk about, let's say, ethical leadership and employee voice, if you want to see the correlation between the two. So in ethical leadership also, considerable research has been done. There are scales, etc. Then employee voice also, considerable research has been done. So if you really want to explore the relationship between the two, it's better, it would be good if you go with the quantitative approach. But yeah, I mean, that's the standard, crudely speaking, the rule of thumb that I follow. And then, yeah, for scale development, specifically if you're looking at scale development, a mixed method study would be better, because you'll be looking at a construct in a fairly novel setting. You do some qualitative interview, come up with some kind of survey items, then maybe administer survey, test the nomological network, and uh, then go ahead with the scale construction. So there are, I mean, depending on the problem that you choose, I mean, if I start talking about in detail about all these things, then it will take a lot of time, and this video will run into hours, because
Okay,
so much literature is available around this topic.
okay, okay, sir. So collaboration and networking is very important for a researcher's life. So what are the different ways a young researcher, a scholar can collaborate, to get connected with other scholars? What are the best ways? You want to share something?
From my experience in PhD, I mean, I started in 2020, so 2 years was like coursework. Then I got opportunities to attend three conferences, two international and one national. So the two international conferences that I attended were virtual. I mean, I did not go there, but I connected through my computer. So these conferences, I would say, are very good, you know, opportunities to collaborate and network with people, because these the sessions, I mean, specifically if I talk about the annual meeting of the Academy of Management,
Hmm.
so they plan these sessions in such a way that people with similar research topics, they come together and present. So definitely, for instance, if I talk about my session in this particular meeting, so my presentation was on employee voice. So the other presenters who were there in that session, one of them was presenting on safety voice. Another one, I mean, the overall theme of the session was voice resistance and agency. So I got to know a lot of researchers who are working on similar topics, and they got to know me. They know what work I am interested in and I'm working on. Then, but the issue here is, in case of virtual conferences, you will not be able to interact with people as the in the way that you want,
Yes.
having discussions over, let's say, lunch or dinner,
Hmm.
or I mean random discussions over any topic. So that will not happen.
Hmm.
Your interaction will be limited to the session in which you are
Hmm.
presenting. Then everybody will go their separate. One drawback of attending a conference virtually. So one
Hmm.
national conference that I attended, it was in person. So
Okay.
in that, I would say I made more networks and got to know more people than the two instances of this virtual conference combined.
Hmm. Hmm.
So that advantage is there. But yeah, I mean, as far as networking is concerned, I think for early PhD scholars, conferences are the best way, and it is important. It is really important to network, because I mean, uh, you it's like this thing that when I'm just drawing an analogy, don't take it in a strict sense. I mean, when a uh, lizard is like on the just like, if the lizard is stuck to the ceiling of a room, so and the lizard thinks that it is uh, tolerating the weight of the entire room on its own, then the lizard is wrong, because a lot of other forces are also acting on it. So if you think that you're working in a particular topic in a PhD, and without any kind of networking or collaboration, you can do everything on your own, uh, you will get burned out. I think after some time, it's a vast. I mean, every single topic has hundreds of papers written on it. So you need to network. You need, and even after you have done an exhaustive, let's say, meta-analysis, and you have covered everything, after some time of writing, I mean, you might feel saturated. So you need new perspectives, and through collaborations you can get these new perspectives. So I cannot emphasize it enough, the importance of collaboration. That's what I've learned in my uh, all close to 3 year, bit above 3 years of journey in PhD till now.
Okay. Thank you, sir, so for sharing your learning with us. So, is there anything else you want to share with all the viewers?
Yes, yes, definitely. Actually, one thing that has been on my mind for some time, and it's an extension of what I mentioned in the previous response, that never think of, it's a popular thing in the in the academic circle, that people say that PhD is a lonely journey. Don't think of it as a lonely journey as such, because it is, PhD involves a lot of stress. It involves a lot of struggles, and sometimes, uh, let's say you are running regression and you are not getting desirable output. So you'll think that everything is gone. I have worked on this project for several days and nothing is coming out of it. So it is a stressful journey with its highs and lows. So don't think of it as something that you'll manage just on your own, without any without making any friends, or having heart to heart discussion with anyone. So I would recommend everyone that make good friends during your PhD journey. And it would be better if they are from different areas. Let's say I'm from organizational behavior area. If I have friends from, let's say, economics or operations, so while discussing a lot of things with them, my perspective will get enriched a lot. Okay, so that ways, try to get out of your comfort zone. PhD, I mean, you might be working alone on your topic of interest, but PhD is definitely not a lonely journey. I mean, people should help each other out
Hmm.
to complete this stressful 4 or 5 years of rigorous academic discipline, academic rigor. So yeah, so that's what I wanted to emphasize. I mean, do networking, build collaborations, and in addition to that, build friendships also. That will help.
Okay. Thank you so much for your time and learning, sharing with all of us, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.